Most people think that growth is often becoming, adding more, becoming faster, becoming stronger, moving better. But in order to become, we often must first unbecome. Unbecoming is the process of stripping away everything that doesn't serve you anymore. The false identities, the fears, and the stories that you've been telling yourself that's been keeping you small. Today, our focus is to unbecome. Let's go. What's up, everyone? Today it is just me. I believe today is episode 3. I think it's episode 3. I take it back. It is definitely episode 3. And today we're going to be talking about unbecoming. I'm keen. I hope you guys are keen. Unfortunately, we have no special guests with us today. It is just me. Matt and Damo are away. I think they're spending some time with their family. So yeah, hope these guys are good. Alrighty. So before we dive in, I have to show you guys what I cooked up. Guys, be honest with me. You can't tell me that my drawing skills are not getting better. If we look at episode 1 to episode 3, tell me they are not getting better. It might have taken me like 20, maybe 30 minutes, but man's putting in the work, and you can't deny that. Man has been putting in the work. Let's talk about what I have drawn. 3 very distinctive drawings. This first one is initially meant to be a palm tree, but it needs some pruning, you know what I mean? So it's a palm tree with some scissors. Hold tight, we'll come back to it. The second thing, bruv, I'm telling you right now, this guy is not a genie. This is not a genie, all right? This guy, I don't know, it kind of looks like me. Initially, he was meant to look like Goku. I think he has like a bit of a Goku build, kind of, with like a Krillin head top. And a genie lower body. This person initially was complete marble. I don't know if I want to ruin the drawing, but this was like marble, this was rock. So someone has taken a chisel and just worked their way into shaping themselves. The last one is a home. And obviously this is a brick. And in front of the house, someone's written broken. I don't know why someone will write that. It's not good for business, is it? So why am I talking about unbecoming? There is a point where an injury stops becoming something that you have and starts becoming something that you are. I'm gonna say that one more time. There is a point where an injury stops becoming something that you have and starts to become something that you are. And that gets very, very, very dangerous when you start mixing your identity with things like this. Labeling yourself as something negative has got to have some negative repercussions. Negativity must attract negativity. So we are here to break that down and add a positive spin to it. So I'm gonna go through my drawings one more time. All right, so this is a leaf. I take it back. What am I? I'm a goose. Now, so this first one is a palm tree, right? Sometimes you have to prune. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Sometimes you have to prune out all the things that don't serve you just so you can become who you're meant to become. Obviously, you know what this guy is. I'm gonna rub this out. We are gonna start off with this brick analogy. Oh man, I'm actually so sad I'm going to rub out my guy. Anyway, it's all right. I'm sad, but I'm not sad. Why? Look, because man like me, young Picasso, right? If I've done it once, I can do it again. Same with you guys. If you do something once, you can do it again. Have that confidence to back yourself. So I'll take it back. Man like me is no longer sad. I am no longer sad. There we go. Bang. I don't know if you guys can hear the Drake in the back, but it is just me today. And I don't know if I told you guys this, but personally, like when I'm doing sales calls or when I'm pitching and stuff, I like to listen to Drake in the back, and it almost just calms me down. I have almost a sense of security whenever I'm listening to Drake. I listen to him, I'm like, Man's at peace. The first thing that we're gonna start off with is our drawing of this house. And I'm going to bring up a quote by, I don't know his real name, but his YouTube channel is Profound Pondering. And he's got a video titled, "If you keep carrying the same bricks, you will keep building the same house." I'm gonna repeat that one more time in case we didn't catch it. If you keep carrying the same bricks, you will continue to build the same house. This is why the idea of unbecoming is so important. You must first unbecome before you can become anything. Your bricks can be a number of things. For example, ACL tear, knee pain, the athlete who was dropped. The more of these bricks that you carry, and those bricks will eventually become you. And my focus with these videos is I like to wrap it up with a couple of tips, and that way it's very, very simple, very, very digestible. It's small sized bites of information that you can then apply onto your life. One video equals one brick. One video equals one brick. And the idea is that over time, you will build a new you. You will build a stronger you. But today's focus is all about unbecoming. So now I'm gonna completely wipe the board and I'm gonna go into story time. And at the moment, what story am I going to pick? I think I should start by talking about my story. So I feel like you guys have definitely heard bits and parts of my story, and over these videos, you guys will definitely get to know me a little bit better. And I am just an example. I'm definitely not no role model. I'm just an example. That's who I am, right? So let's backtrack 2 versions, right? How old was I? I'm 28 now. I think I was like 25. Okay. 2 versions of me. At 25, where was I in my life? All right. I would like to describe it as your boy was in hell. And genuinely, there were days when I'd wake up and that's exactly what I would feel like. I felt like I was living in hell. I am now 28 years old and I feel like every day I'm in heaven. How did I transition from heaven to hell, right? That's not the most important thing, but today it's all about unbecoming this list of myself in order to become this person. We are back and I have written out my process of unbecoming the person that I was in hell and the person that I am now, who is essentially walking like I'm living in heaven. The frequency is different. This is the person that I was when I was 25 years old and I was literally living in hell. And I can't explain to you what it was like at that time, but I can explain to you some of the things that happened to me. So the first one is I was 88 kilos. I would put myself as overweight. And for anyone that says that I wasn't overweight, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to me. I need you guys to be honest, right? So I was definitely overweight at 88 kilos. I had a torn patella tendon. I was an employee and I was working for someone else, and there was a part of me that just felt like something was missing and I wasn't living up to my potential. I felt like that I had a calling, and being an employee for me at that time, I don't know, it just felt like I was living with no purpose. I was dropped from every single photo shoot that I attended. And as a young athlete, I can't tell you how upsetting it is when you spend all your time working on your skills, working on your diet, working on your physique, and then you get invited out to photo shoots, only then to find out that you're not in any photos, you're not in any videos, you're not on socials, you're not on websites. That was tough. That was a tough pill to swallow. And I remember at the time, I was very heavily gaslit into believing that it was always my skills. I was told that I was never enough and that I needed this skill and I needed that skill and I needed this skill. And I would always take a step back and I'm like, yo, compared to everyone else that's out here, no disrespect to them, the level of charisma that I brought to these shoots was unmatched. I had this energy about me. I was there early. I was the last one to leave. I would dedicate my weekends in the gym. And years later, here we are. It's a Sunday, and yeah, I'm out here talking to you guys, and I love it. But I'm not complaining. But you know, that was heartbreaking at the time. And I think just to top everything off, this was the most important thing of this entire list. The thing that hit me the most hardest was that I lost the most important person in my life at the time. And it was an extremely difficult time for me, but he has taught me so much. But while I was there, it's literally like all the pillars of my life had crumbled simultaneously. It was almost like dominoes. One fell, another fell, another fell. Before you know it, everything was gone. If the universe or the world wants you to become a certain person and you are far from the journey that you're meant to be on, the universe and the world will strip everything from you until you are down to rock bottom and you've got nothing left. But you've got a choice. Just like everything, you've got a choice. You have that option to grow and become anything that you want to. And the beauty about rock bottom is that you're already at the bottom. You literally cannot go to any lower depths because you're at the bottom. There's only one way, and the way is up. So that's the beauty of hitting rock bottom. And I can tell you, my friends, I definitely hit rock bottom. So transition 3 years forward, right? What changed and who did I become? Because I feel like I'm literally living in heaven. The frequency that I'm operating out of currently is unmatched, and I can't explain to you what living in this frequency is. Once again, I'm getting really spiritual, sorry guys, but back on topic. Who is this 28-year-old guy named Shraz, right? This guy is now 70 kilos. Instead of having a torn patella tendon, which I had, I recovered. I worked 15 months into rehab. I rehabbed that myself, by the way, guys. And now I've got strong knees and I can literally do anything. I can run, jump, backflips, B-twist, anything. Recently, I also completed a half marathon as well, which this guy, or even like the versions before me, would have never ever done. Instead of being an employee, I became my own boss, became the CEO. Shout out Evolve Physio. That's me, that's us, guys. From being dropped at every single photo shoot, I started and I created my own clothing line. So we have the merch at Evolve Physio. We've got a few shirts at the moment, and there's definitely more coming up, but I stopped relying on others and I literally just launched my own line. If no one's gonna drop me now, who's gonna drop me now, huh? Who's gonna drop me now? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And when I lost the most important person in my life, I literally had to spend time with myself and figure out who am I without this person. And I then became the most important person in my own life. And I also created the version that you see before you today. The person that I am today isn't by chance. I didn't get here by chance or by luck. I have spent nearly every single day over the past 3 years working on myself. I had to drop the weight. I had to build my knees. I had to create a company from the ground up. We had 0 clients. We had 0 followers. There was days when we would post and literally only 2 or 3 people would like it. From losing the most important person, I had to become my own person. I had to realize that there's no one coming to save me. Just like with you guys. Unfortunately, you have to come to the realization that no one is coming to save you. I'm not here to save you, but I am here to redirect you and open up your mind and show you that there is a life of possibility. Here's our next thing. How you see yourself, how you speak about yourself, and how you talk to yourself are all very, very important things I need you to know, right? Because how you see the world is how the world will see you. I saw that the world was hell. So what did the world do? The world gave me scenarios where I felt like I was in hell. The world made me feel like I was living in hell. I'm gonna give you guys a massive hack right, into unbecoming. I'm gonna leave that there because man's hot right now. Is I need you, we're gonna just say heaven, I need you to grab a pen, grab a paper, and draw out what your ideal life will look like. Your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, whether it's to recover from an injury, whether it's to play again with your kids, whether it's to go back to work, whether it's to join the EPL, whether it's join the NRL, whatever it is, I need you guys to draw it out, and I need you guys to be as descriptive in your writing as you can. The more descriptive you are, the better it is, right? And that is what we're gonna call a state of heaven. If you can almost create this world in your head, you then have something to work toward. If you are looking through these lens, so that's the Mandem's eyes, he's got the binocular things. He is looking through in essentially the lens of heaven or the lens of his ideal world. And that way, we're coming back to that quote that I said earlier, the way that you look at life will also reflect the way that life will look at you. So imagine if you start looking at life through those lenses, things are going to change. Just to compound that, I've got another hieroglyphic drawing here. Shout out Egypt, shout out Giza. The way that you see yourself, talk about yourself, describe yourself, it makes it easier for the world to justify the same comments onto you. If you keep describing yourself as broken, as the guy who had knee pain, as the person who had back pain 10 years ago and is still dealing with injuries, or describing yourself as the athlete who was dropped from all these photo shoots and now you don't want to train or you don't want to go to the gym, it makes it so much easier for the world to treat you exactly the same way as you treat yourself. So you need to almost start to treat yourself with kindness, because you've been very hard on yourself. Pause. You need to show yourself kindness first before the world comes and then shows you kindness as well. I get it. Things have been tough, but you need to be kind to yourself, and that way the world is also going to be kinder to you. It starts with you. Change starts with you. Don't expect change to start externally, because it has to start from internal. And then before you know it, things will start to change. I am just gonna wipe this down. I feel like I'm losing marbles whenever I don't have Matt or Stevie here. It was nice to have Damien here, but Damien's a little bit unhinged. He's a funny one still. In the process of unbecoming, we must rewrite the narrative. And I know you must have heard hundreds of success stories. This guy tore his ACL, came back. This father had back pain, had multiple operations, and then still, even after all that, was able to be active in his children's lives. There is thousands and countless of success stories. My question is, why can't you be one? Neuro-knowledge is currently my most favorite creator on the planet. This guy's incredible. And he posted something on his story. The story, I had to pause it, screenshot it, and I sat back and I reflected for 10 minutes. On the story, it said, the greatest self-limiting belief is believing that we have self-limiting beliefs. Isn't that one of the most craziest things you've ever heard? I need to say that one more time. This time for myself, because that was hella deep. Pause. That was hella deep. The greatest self-limiting belief that we have is believing that we have self-limiting beliefs. Crazy stuff. Anyway, hope you guys have written that down, because that was definitely a bar. As we continue, right, I've written down 3 examples. So the first one is the athlete. Quite commonly, they might be known as the injured guy, or the guy with the ACL tear, or the guy who busted his shoulder and never got back. We can unbecome the injured guy, rewrite the script, and that injured guy is now Mr. Relentless, just from the fact that he decided not to give up and he decided to change his narrative, right? He unbecame this title that was the injured guy. He didn't allow himself to continue to be called the injured guy when structurally everything had healed. He had spent time in the gym, he had worked with his physio, and he came back. Same thing with the parent. Second one is the dad who cannot play with his kids. And the reason why he can't play with his kids is because he has a knee injury and he has a back injury, and he's scared that if he plays with his kids, his knee's gonna give way, and then he's gonna get that sciatic pain down his leg. But that same dad decided to show up to physiotherapy and put in the work into his body. That same dad is now a role model to his kids because he showed his kids how to overcome the injury. And the last thing is the person who lost everything, she then came back for everything and more. And the final thing that I want to leave you guys with is unbecoming is like pruning a tree. You don't prune because the tree is broken. You prune because you want it to grow stronger, taller, and freer. Sometimes it's not about adding more branches. It's about cutting away what no longer belongs. And when you remove what doesn't serve you, what's left is who you really are. I don't know if you guys can see the board, but these are my 5 final takeaways for this video, right? The first thing is I need you to let go. I need you to accept, and then I need you to move on. You cannot build a future if you are stuck living in the past. So you might as well write a letter to your old self and say, hey, thank you for surviving. I don't need you anymore. It's time to build a new me. The second thing is I need you to realize that negativity attracts negativity, and do not catch yourself lacking anymore. Anytime you hear yourself or you're talking to yourself in a negative tone or a negative manner, change it around, flip the script. We are not doing that anymore. The third thing is that we're gonna swap habits, right? And we're aiming for about 1 a day. Instead of watching hours watching Netflix, you've cut that down and you're spending some time going for a walk. Instead of sleeping in, you're now going into the gym and you're putting in effort and work. And the final thing, examples by the way, is you are no longer comparing yourself to other people, and you are documenting your small wins, because those small wins, they'll add up. Trust me, I promise. Number 4 is accountability share. Let someone who you trust know that you are now going to unbecome this person who you were, and you are now stepping into a new reality and a new identity. If you don't have that someone, you've got me. So you guys can put that in the comments and I will like, comment, and I'll let you guys know, all right? Love. And the final thing is sometimes you just have to trust it. Trust the process. Give it some time. That is episode 3, guys. I'll see you guys on episode 4. Peace out.